There are moments in life when it feels like everything is standing still. You've prayed, you've worked hard, you've stayed faithful, and yet nothing seems to move. The bills keep coming, opportunities seem out of reach, and your dreams look distant. But I came to tell you today, God is not finished with your story. You are on the verge of a divine turnaround, and God is about to shock your bank account. Not just with numbers, but with favor, with provision, with blessings that go beyond your imagination. You see, when we think about financial blessings, we often limit God to our paycheck, our savings, or our connections. But the God who created the heavens and the earth doesn't need a system to bless you. He doesn't need approval from your boss. He doesn't depend on your degree, and he is not limited by the economy. He owns everything. The word says in Haggai 2:88, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine, says the Lord of hosts." That means every resource, every opportunity, every open door belongs to him, and he can release it to you whenever he chooses. Sometimes God waits until everything looks impossible just to prove that he alone is your source. He lets you reach the end of your strength so that you can lean completely on his power. You might be standing in front of an empty account today, but heaven's account is overflowing. When God decides to bless you, no system, no circumstance, and no human hand can stop it. God doesn't operate by natural timing. He works by divine purpose. What looks like delay is not denial. It's preparation. Maybe you've been sowing seeds in faith, giving when it didn't make sense, staying generous even when you had little. Maybe you've prayed for years and haven't seen results. But hear me today, God has not forgotten your obedience. Every seed you've sown, every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've cried has been recorded in heaven. And when the appointed time comes, God will not just answer, you will see a miracle that shocks you. God is a multiplier, not just an addition maker. He took 5 loaves and 2 fish and fed thousands. He told Peter to cast his net one more time, and the net broke with the weight of the blessing. He turned water into wine at a wedding that had already run out of supply. And he's about to do the same for you. You might have run out of ideas, run out of opportunities, or even run out of strength, but you haven't run out of God. And when God steps in, he brings overflow. But here's the truth. Before God increases what's in your hand, he increases what's in your heart. He teaches you to trust, to believe, to speak life even when you see lack. Because faith is the currency of heaven. It's what unlocks divine provision. Stop saying, I'm broke. Stop saying, I'll never get ahead. Start declaring, I'm blessed. I'm favored. My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Your words shape your world. You're not waiting on money. You're waiting on manifestation. What you need is already stored up in heaven. It's just waiting for you to align your faith with God's promise. And when that alignment happens, miracles follow. Unexpected income, canceled debts, open doors, new clients, divine opportunities. It's all possible when faith meets obedience. And when it happens, remember this, God doesn't bless you just to make you comfortable. He blesses you to make you impactful. The overflow isn't just for your luxury, it's for your legacy. God wants to fund your purpose, your vision, your calling. He wants to use your increase to feed others, to build, to bless, to change lives. Because true prosperity isn't measured by how much you keep. It's measured by how much you give. So don't lose hope. The same God who provided for Elijah through ravens, who brought manna from heaven, who multiplied oil for the widow, is the same God who sees your faith today. Your struggle has been noticed, your patience has been tested, and now your reward is on its way. You are closer to your breakthrough than you think. Stay faithful. Keep praising. Keep giving. Keep believing. Because in one divine moment, everything can shift. The email can come. The opportunity can open. The money can appear. The favor can find you. And when it does, it won't make sense. It will only make you say, only God could have done this. So lift your head high and declare it with confidence. God is about to shock my bank account. Not because you earned it, but because He's faithful. Not because you're lucky, but because you're chosen. Not because you planned it, but because He promised it. There comes a point in life when it feels like everything around you is pressing in, when the weight of bills, responsibilities, and expectations begins to crush your spirit. You look at your bank account and it doesn't reflect your effort, your prayers, or your dreams. You start asking questions like, God, where are you in all this? Why am I still waiting for my breakthrough? But I came to remind you, God has not forgotten you. He has not overlooked your faith, your giving, or your obedience. He is preparing to release something that will not only meet your need, but exceed your expectation. God is about to shock your bank account. Sometimes God allows us to reach a place where our human resources run out so that we can finally realize that He is our ultimate source. He allows the brook to dry up like He did for Elijah, so that we can see that His provision doesn't come from one place. It comes from His promise. The same God who sent ravens to feed Elijah in the wilderness, the same God who multiplied the widow's oil when there was nothing left, is the same God who will provide for you in ways that defy logic. When heaven moves, no economy can stop it. No recession can block it, and no man can take the credit for it. God doesn't bless you according to the size of your need. He blesses you according to the size of His riches. Philippians 4:19 says, my God shall supply all your need according to His riches in glory by Christ Jesus. His riches are unlimited. His power is unstoppable, and His timing is perfect. You may not see it yet, but your breakthrough is already in motion. Heaven's transfer has already been approved. The problem is not whether God can bless you. The question is whether you can believe it. Faith is the key that unlocks heaven's vault. Faith is what takes the invisible and makes it visible. You have to believe when there's no evidence, speak when there's no sign, and praise when there's no proof. Because faith moves the heart of God. Faith turns scarcity into supply. And when you stand firm in faith, your situation must shift. God doesn't respond to worry, He responds to faith. He doesn't move because of fear, He moves because of trust. That's why even when your wallet says empty, your heart should still say full. Even when your account says nothing, your mouth should still say overflow. Because what you confess creates what you experience. God has a pattern. He tests your faith before He releases your fortune. He watches how you handle little before He trusts you with much. The same hands that manage a small blessing will one day hold a greater one. Don't despise small beginnings. Your seed might look tiny, but when you sow it in faith, God multiplies it beyond measure. That's how the kingdom works. When you give, He gives back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It's not a transaction, it's transformation. You don't give to get, you give to grow. And when your heart becomes generous, heaven becomes generous toward you. So don't focus on what you've lost. Focus on what's about to come. Don't let lack define your identity. You are not broke. You are blessed. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not waiting for money. Money is waiting for you to step into alignment with God's purpose. The blessing is not coming to make you rich. It's coming to make you ready. Because when God blesses you, He blesses you to be a blessing. Your increase has a mission. Your overflow has a purpose. You're not just being blessed to buy things, you're being blessed to build things. When God shocks your bank account, it won't just be about digits and numbers. It will be about destiny. He will give you resources to help others to start what He told you to start, to fund the dreams He planted in your heart. What once looked impossible will become your testimony. What once made you cry will make you shout for joy. Because when God moves, He moves suddenly. In one moment, He can take you from empty to overflow, from barely enough to more than enough. He can erase debt, open doors, and send help you didn't even know existed. So keep standing in faith. Keep declaring His promises. Keep giving, even when it feels hard. Because every time you act in faith, you are setting up a miracle. God is not late. He's lining things up. The right connections, the right opportunities, the right timing, all of it is falling into place. You are not waiting for the blessing. The blessing is waiting for you to believe. There are seasons when life feels like a test of endurance. You've been waiting, hoping and believing for something to change, but everything seems to stay the same. You see others being blessed, doors opening for them. And you wonder, when will it be my turn? You've prayed, you've tithed, you've given, and yet it feels like heaven is silent. But I came to tell you, heaven has heard you. Your prayers were not wasted. Your giving was not in vain, and your faith has not gone unnoticed. You may not see the movement yet, but the shift has already begun. God is about to shock your bank account, and when He does, it won't just be a number. It will be a divine signature of His faithfulness. God never forgets a seed. Every act of generosity, every time you gave out of obedience when it didn't make sense, every sacrifice you made in faith, it all carries weight in heaven. The Bible says, do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you shall reap if you do not give up. Your due season is closer than you think. You may be standing in the middle of your struggle, but God is standing in the middle of your miracle. When it's your time, no one can stop what God has planned for you. The enemy has tried to convince you that your financial situation defines your worth, but it doesn't. What you have in your account is not who you are. Your value was settled when Jesus said, "It is finished." You are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are a child of the King, and your Father owns everything. The same God who filled the nets of fishermen overnight, who turned lack into abundance, who turned defeat into deliverance, is the same God who is working behind the scenes for you. When God moves, He moves suddenly. One phone call, one meeting, one opportunity can turn everything around. The same way Joseph went from a prison cell to a palace in a single day, you too can go from survival to overflow in a moment. That's how God works. He doesn't need time. He just needs your trust. He doesn't need your plan. He just needs your faith. Because when you truly believe that He is your source, you stop worrying about how and start expecting when. God's blessings are not limited by the world's systems. Inflation, economy, or politics don't control the hand of God. Heaven's economy never crashes. There are no recessions in God's kingdom. The blessing that's coming to you isn't coming through the system. It's coming through supernatural supply. It's coming through divine favor. It's coming through unexpected places. You won't have to chase it. It will find you. The miracle that's been assigned to your life already has your name written on it. But before God changes what's in your account, He changes what's in your heart. He teaches you that generosity is greater than greed, that faith is stronger than fear, that giving opens doors that saving never could. Because God doesn't just want to give you money. He wants to give you mastery. He doesn't want to make you rich just to make you comfortable. He wants to make you responsible. He's preparing you to handle the blessing before He releases it. That's why this season of waiting is not wasted. Every delay has been divine training. Every disappointment was direction. Every closed door was a setup for something bigger. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. God is building endurance, wisdom, and faith within, so that when the blessing comes, you won't lose it. You'll steward it. The moment you decide to trust God completely, your atmosphere begins to shift. Heaven starts aligning opportunities. Miracles begin to move in your direction. You may not see it yet, but it's already in motion. God is about to send unexpected income, cancel debts, restored opportunities, and divine provision. You're going to see His fingerprints in your finances, His signature in your story, and His power in your progress. And when it happens, don't forget who did it. Don't forget the days when you cried and prayed for the miracle you now hold. Give Him glory for every open door, for every blessing, for every miracle that carried His name. Because when God shocks your bank account, He's not just increasing your balance, He's increasing your faith. There are times in life when it feels like you've reached your limit. You've prayed, fasted, worked, and waited, but nothing seems to change. You've stood in faith when everything around you looked empty. You've smiled when your heart was breaking and given when your hands had little left to hold. And yet somehow, you're still standing. That alone is proof that God is not done with you. When life has tested your patience and your faith, when the odds are stacked against you, that's when heaven begins to prepare the miracle. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned for something extraordinary. God is about to shock your bank account. You see, God often works silently before He moves suddenly. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. When a seed is buried in the soil, it looks dead for a while. But in the dark, it's growing roots that will one day break the surface and bear fruit. That's what God is doing with your life right now. You may feel hidden, overlooked, or buried under the weight of responsibilities, but you're actually being prepared for a season of overflow. The roots of your faith are getting stronger so that when the blessing comes, you can handle its weight. Every delay you've experienced has been divine. Every setback has been a setup. Every no has been protection. God's timing is not random, it's strategic. If He gave you everything too soon, you might not have the strength to hold it. So He trains you through trials and teaches you through tension. He's not denying your request. He's designing your readiness. And when He's finished, the blessing will come quickly and it will come abundantly. The Bible reminds us in Ephesians 3:20, now unto Him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. That means what's coming is greater than what you prayed for. It's bigger than what you imagined. God is not going to just meet your need. He's going to exceed it. You thought you were praying for a bill to be paid, but God is preparing to make you debt-free. You thought you were asking for a small breakthrough, but God is planning to overflow your life with blessings you didn't even know to request. He's about to shock your bank account, not just to show off His power, but to prove His promise. You've been walking by faith, and now you're about to live by favor. He's going to bring increase from unexpected places. Checks you weren't expecting, calls you didn't plan for, opportunities that will open without your effort. Because when God says it's your time, no one can cancel it. The blessing will locate you even if you're not looking for it. But before God releases the miracle, He always checks the motive. He's not blessing you so you can boast. He's blessing you so you can be a blessing. Your miracle has a mission. Your increase has an assignment. When God shocks your bank account, it's not just to raise your lifestyle, it's to raise your level of influence, generosity, and purpose. He wants you to build, give, help, and transform. That's how heaven's economy operates. The more you pour out, the more He pours in. This is the season to align your faith with your words. Stop saying, I can't afford it. Start declaring, my God will provide. Stop thinking small. Start expecting big. Your mindset is the gateway to your miracle. Speak abundance. Think abundance and watch God bring abundance. What you expect, you attract. What you believe, you become. You're not waiting for luck. You're waiting for alignment. You're not chasing money. You're chasing God's purpose. And in that pursuit, provision follows. The blessing is not coming because of your position. It's coming because of your posture. A humble heart, a generous spirit, and an unshakable faith invite heaven's attention. You've endured the hard days, the nights of doubt, the moments when you almost gave up. But you didn't. And that endurance has produced something inside you that money can't buy: resilience. That's why what's coming next won't slip through your hands. You've been tested, and now you're ready. There comes a time when life pushes you so hard that you start wondering if the promises of God are really for you. You've prayed until your voice cracked. You've given until it hurt. And you've believed even when doubt tried to drown your hope. Yet, somehow, nothing seems to change. You look at your situation and wonder, God, did you forget me? But the truth is, He didn't forget. He's been watching you the whole time. Every tear, every prayer, every act of faith has been recorded in heaven. You've been sowing in silence, but you're about to reap in public. The season of waiting is coming to an end. God is about to shock your bank account. Sometimes God allows you to walk through dry places so that you can understand that He alone is the source of your supply. He allows the well to dry up so you stop depending on people and start depending on Him. It's not punishment, it's preparation. He's teaching you that your job isn't your provider, your business isn't your source, and your talent isn't your sustainer. Those are just channels, but God is the fountain when He decides to move. He can send a blessing through anyone, at any time, from anywhere. What looks like limitation is about to turn into liberation. You see, when God steps into your finances, it doesn't take Him months or years. It takes one divine moment. One yes from heaven can erase years of struggle. One open door can change generations of lack. You may not have the resources yet, but you have the favor. You may not have the money, but you have the promise. And when favor collides with faith, the impossible becomes inevitable. God is not moved by numbers. He's moved by faith. He doesn't need a big balance to bless you. He just needs a big belief inside you. God's blessing isn't always loud. It often starts small. It may come as an idea that won't leave your spirit, a small opportunity that seems insignificant, or a connection that feels casual. But when God breathes on it, it multiplies. Don't despise small beginnings, because small beginnings often carry big destiny. The widow only had a little oil, but when she followed the prophet's word, that little turned into more than enough. God takes what's left and turns it into what's next. You may be surrounded by problems, but you're also surrounded by promise. The same power that parted the Red Sea, that rained manna from heaven, that filled empty nets, is still alive today. God doesn't run out of miracles. He doesn't run out of provision. What He did for others, He can do for you, and even more. The reason your breakthrough has taken time is because God isn't just trying to change your situation. He's trying to change your perspective. He's training you to see Him as your source. Because once you understand that He's the supplier, you'll never fear lack again. Right now, heaven is aligning everything in your favor. The connections you need, the ideas you'll use, the doors that will open, they're already being arranged. You might not see it yet, but it's in motion. Don't let your emotions fool you into giving up when you're this close. Your obedience has reached heaven. The waiting has not been wasted. It has built your character, sharpened your discernment, and strengthened your faith. You've been through the test, and now you're ready for the testimony. God is about to release what's been held back. The favor that was delayed is about to accelerate. Unexpected income, divine partnerships, open doors, and supernatural opportunities are about to find you. You will look at your life and realize that what took years to build in your strength, God did in moments through His power. You'll be able to say, it wasn't me, it was Him. And when the miracle manifests, it won't just bless you, it'll overflow to others. Because God never blesses you to make you boast. He blesses you to make you a blessing. Conclusion, your current situation is not your final story. The same God who brought light into darkness and order out of chaos is about to bring increase out of lack. He's getting ready to show you that he can do more in a moment than you can do in a lifetime. Keep believing, keep giving, keep speaking life, and keep expecting miracles. You've come too far to quit now. The struggle was only the setup for supernatural supply. You are about to see a financial turnaround that will silence every doubt, cancel every debt, and open every door you've been praying for. So get ready. God is about to shock your bank account. And when he does, the world will know that the hand of God is still mighty. His word is still true. And his favor still falls on those who refuse to give up.